Hello, we are Diana and Kimberly. We are students at Russ Elementary, room 57.
Our class did some research on 5 different categories which we find interesting. Did you know that the first video on YouTube was a comedy released on April 23rd, 2005? That was almost 17 years ago.
That was before I was even born.
We learned how cars worked, a little bit about Pinocchio, and where the first toy store in America was located.
We also learned about what is a mystery and how they are solved.
And related to mysteries are myths. Our team investigated myths from Sherlock Holmes to Greek mythology.
But first, let's have a little bit of fun with arts and craft. Let's see what our arts and craft team learned.
Who are some of the best artists from history?
Some of the best artists in history are Edward Munch and Pablo Picasso.
What was the first art that was ever made?
The first art is Bembeka and Zaraki Tutankhamun.
What is Bembeka?
Bembeka is a rock shelter.
Where is Bembeka located?
Bembeka is located in the Raisin district in India.
Who discovered it?
The person that discovered it was Dr. Vishnu Sridhar Wakankar.
When was it discovered?
It was discovered in 1957.
Where do all the artists put their paints?
Artists put all their paintings somewhere they know.
Why did the first art think of painting?
The artist thinks of painting because it was used by nomadic people to protect themselves.
How do artists draw so well?
Artists draw so well because they repeat the same drawing they practice, and practice makes perfect.
Practice does make perfect. Art is a very important part of culture.
Do you know what else is a very important part of culture?
No, what?
Myths.
Huh?
Yep, here's our myth team to explain.
The most famous investigator would be Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes is a detective that is fictional and was made by a British author. A myth is a traditional story, especially one concerning the early history of the people or explaining something natural or social phenomenon, and typically involving supernatural beings or events. Myths or legends began to be recorded just as soon as humans mastered the technology of writing. Often the very first texts of myths to the gods or collected a mythology that because stories organized in cycles explaining how the world was created, how humans came into existence, or why death is necessary.
Myths created about 3,000 to 1,100 BCE.
BCE stands for Common Era. The first modern Western scholar theorist of myth applied during the second half of the 19th century, the same time as the word myth was adopted as the school term into Europe languages. The earliest known version of these myths date back more than 27,000 years. Mount Olympus was widely known as the home of the Greek god deities. With its sheer majesty, breathtaking beauty, and rugged roughness, it's not hard to see the ancient Greeks believed that their beloved gods and goddesses dwell there.
Myths give us context into our world, our literature, and our own beliefs.
As soon as a human mastered the technology of writing, soon the world about myths became a popular thing in ancient Greek and still is now in the 2000s. Okay, Mount Olympus does look like a cool place to live.
Facts.
No mysteries.
I see what you did there.
Do you like mysteries?
I love them.
Great, because our mystery team are reporting in to shed a little light on mysteries. Let's check them out.
What is a mystery? A mystery is a story that has 5 basic but important elements. These 5 components are the characters, the setting, the plot, and the problem, and the solution. The main character determines the way the plot or mystery will develop, and is usually the person who will solve the problem the story centers upon.
Mike Hammer is a person who investigates. He is an investigator. He is a fictional character from a book series written in 1947 book. Hammer was an investigator who would be carried by a cult.
Where do they work?
Investigators often work with law enforcement. Investigators are important because they find out what happened and work to make things right and solve mysteries.
A very popular mystery book is called The French Powder Mystery. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for your time.
I had no idea that crime scenes investigators work so close with the police.
Yep, that's how they work.
What did you say?
I said that's how they work.
That's funny because our next team is going to show us how things work. Take a look.
Who first invented how a car works?
The invention of the first car was made from parts that already existed at the time. Those parts were from horse-drawn wagons, bicycles, and a new invention. The engine works and it's just like a bike. The early to mid 1800s, people were investigating ways to improve transportation. In 1886, Carl Benz was able to improve transportation with the invention of the automobile. In 1954, George Deville invented the first digitally operated and programmable robot called the Unimet Work for some heated die casting machines and more. The second Disney movie ever made was Pinocchio, made on February 7, 1940. Pinocchio is 7 years old. He doesn't feel any pain in any way, and Geppetto made Pinocchio. The first toy store was built in New York in 1760 by William Hamley in London under the name of Noah's Ark. He was the original creator and he loved the store that he created. Have you ever wondered why a volcano erupts? Volcanoes erupt when molten rock called magma rises to the surface and erupts and smoke comes out of it, and it's beautiful to see, but keep your distance. Then can get to you and you can see famous volcanoes. And now on to makeup. Toni Kamko founded NYX Cosmetics when she was 25 and used those lessons, her own passion for makeup, and using a $250,000 loan from her parents that she used for the makeup products. Thanks for watching.
I had no idea volcanoes were so beautiful.
But they're deadly.
That's no joke.
Haha. Funny you should say joke. Our next team is going to tell us about comments.
Seriously?
No joke. Check them out.
Why is Kevin Hart one of the funniest comedians in the world?
He likes to make funny jokes that make people laugh around the world. His comedian tours began in 2009 with his act-out I Am a Grown Little Man, followed by Seriously Funny in 2010, Laugh at My Pain in 2011, and Let Me Explain in 2013.
When was the first video released?
The first funny YouTube video was released on April 23rd, 2005 at 8:31 p.m. at Pacific Daytime. This video went viral and millions of people watched it and liked it. This video is still popular. Bob Hope was one of the American's funny comedians during World War II. He made people laugh with his funny jokes. During World War II, he toured the world telling jokes to the United States troops and making them laugh. He died on July 27, 2003. Many people miss his jokes. Comedy helped during war by making people feel better. Larry David was an influencer comedian who was born on July 2nd, 1947. He is a producer, writer, and actor. Larry started to do stand-up comedy at the New York City nightclubs in 1974. He was a writer on Sid Seinfeld. Humor is great, and funny videos are amazing. People make funny videos because they make us feel better.
Thank you for watching. This is Kimberly.
Part of Ross Elementary, Room 57.
Be sure to leave a comment below and follow to get more videos from Room 57.
And share it with friends. Bye
For
for
now.
now.